And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta. We have our red Zerg player from the land of Belarus representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nikich. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Oh, he's so shameless back. Oh my god. Let's go. As we are going to be settling in once again, the juice box has been thrown down. Ah, hydrate everyone, hydrate. It's beautiful. I don't know what it is with these younger players like Eba, Shameless, Vindicta. All these Zoomers, they always throw down their sprays all the time. Crazy. Shaking my head. They're also Diva enjoyers typically as well. But we're settling in. Unfortunately, we don't really know what happened in Game 1 or Game 2. We are lacking some of that information, but so far everything's looking as it should. Nikich is a typically aggressive player. Nikich, he's very aggressive and typically in your face, very mid-game oriented. So my eyes are definitely on Nikich coming into this. Meanwhile, Shameless is similar in a sense, but more so like kind of 3 and 4 base oriented. Like I feel like we rarely see like initially Glaive Adept openers or DT openers. But we'll see what our players have in store. We shall see. So now the probe is going to be tasing away at the mineral line, being an annoyance. Keep an eye on Nikich. We are getting our opener up and running. Lings are on the way, soon to be Link Speed. Likewise across the map, Shameless is going for a gate expand into Cybercore. And we'll wait and see what kind of tech we do commit to and how we decide to open up. We've already had quite a bit of variety here tonight. I mean, we had Void Ray into Skytoss, which we rarely see. And oh my god, I have to eat my words because that is a Twilight Council opener. Okay, Shameless, what do you got? What do you got, Pappy? What do you got? 3 AM, brain dead. You gotta stretch your roaches before any strenuous activity. You do. You don't want to cramp. You don't want to cramp your roaches. Don't cramp them. Give them space. They get anxious. But there's that Twilight Council. This should be towards either Glaives or Glaives. We have pulled out, so we should be seeing Glaive Adepts here out of Shameless. And we'll see how hard we commit. Again, with only 2 and 2, it should only be 4 gateways. There we go. Gateways are on the way. Behind this, Nikich is just droning. Still no scouts or no big realization yet of what is occurring. Just going to be droning up. There we go. Glaives are on the way. And we should soon be seeing a robo. I say soon because for now we just have our gateways. There's no access to a prism to harass across the map to reinforce. There we go. There's that robo on the way. It's going to be for the War Prism. And this is not an all-in, but it is a way to get economic damage done early on and take an economic lead as you take a third. While you expand, we're looking to move out and be in the face of Nikich. Meanwhile, that's an early Bailey Nest. Oh my god. Bailey Nest is on the way. Not the easiest way to deal with Glaive Adepts, but still possible. I mean, usually we would see a Roach Warren, but a Bailey Nest, if the Bailings can connect, then we can shut Adepts down. That's a big if, though. As Nikich is just producing nothing but Lings. Lings are amassing. Likewise, Adepts are also warping in. Adepts are spotted. Seen by the Lings. Waves about to finish up. We're still massing more. Bailings are on the way. Let's go. And we're hoping to get to lock down to this army, to get us around, and to collapse in with those Bailings. It's not going to be easy, but we're getting ready. We are ready. Adepts, they don't commit. Shameless backs off. Again, the Prism is quite late, actually. Like, this feels really weird. Like, the robot was delayed and the Prism is late, which means reinforcements take so long to really get onto the front lines. As we were tempted to surround. It was tempting. Bailings are spotted. We have more Adepts warping in. Immortal behind this. Getting into Immortal production, 2 more gateways. This is turning into a 2-base all-in. We went from 4 gateways to 6. We have 6 gates, Immortal production. Shameless refusing to expand, or at least he can't because of all these lings. Meanwhile, Nikich throwing down a Roach Warren. Commencing Roach production. Soon to commence Roach production. This War Prism is denied entry to the main. Dropping to the 3rd. Ooh. Shading back. And did I say 6 gate Glaive Adepts? We're getting up to 8 gates. 8 gate Glaive Adepts. Oh my god. I don't even think we can afford that, but sure, okay. We're gonna have 8 gateways. Oh, it's gonna be all or nothing Baileys. Ooh, they crash into the Stalker of all things. Against Stalkers, what is it? I think they take 11 Bailings. They take a lot of Bailings to bring down. So that was a bit of a waste. That was, I think, 4 or 5 Bailings. Yeah, we shut down the Bailings. They get completely cleaned up. Not the best trade here from Nikich. He has to back off. Behind this, Roaches are amassing. Thankfully, we still have more Bailings back at home. Have more Bailings. And here comes the all-in. How many Adepts? 26! 26 Adepts, 3 Immortals. The War Prism to juggle and reinforce. And remember, we have 8 gates. We can warp in 8 units at a time if we have the economy for it. Going for sentries, initially. God, this is a terrifying army from Shameless. Also, my apologies. We are tied up 1-1. We are in the ace match. I was a little bit engrossed in the game itself, and we're going to knock down this hatchery. Yeah, the hatchery will fall in an instant. For now, we're still massing up more Lingbane. Ravager's on the way. We have to be so careful with this shade. We cannot commit. If we did, the Bailings would get some juicy connections. So we have to be very careful with how we engage. Likewise, force fields they're going to be quite important here to slice up the army. We have a Bay on the way behind this, working towards Disruptors or Colossus. Oh. See Nikich trying to collapse in. Doesn't quite pull it off. Shameless pulling away, and we're expanding. Okay. Shameless, he kills a 3rd, and he backs off. Takes his own. True, technically up in economy. Sure. Why not? Adept slips into the main. I believe we shut down the Prism. Yeah, the War Prism did go down, and we're looking for a cancel. We forced the cancel. And Shameless out of position. Unable to deny those lings, and Nikich is going to be able to take the faster 3rd. Still massing up more Roach Ravager. Lings threading another run by. Our force back. Tiles weren't quite connect. Nikich does threaten. I think Major just posturing. Behind this is joining up, saturating his bases. Colossus has arrived. Still a very tense moment here between these two players. Very tense. And who do I favor? It's hard to say. Like, I kind of like Shameless's army, but at the same time, it's also a little bit fragile. A little bit. Like, especially once Bailing Speed kicks in, like, we can go to town on this. Potentially. It's one of those things where, like, Bailings could connect, or we could just force field and just deny the Bailings entirely. But now Nick is just embracing Lingbane Roach Ravager. Visage Bit's on the way. Assassination bit is on the way. Working towards Hive Tech. Oh, nice force fields. And we look down the Lings. They do get shut down. Stalker barely survives. And without any Lurker Tech here, I'm curious where we're headed. Like, there's no Hydrogen, there's no Lurker Den. We could try to work towards Ultras, I guess. Yeah, there's melee on the way. I mean, Viper's going to be quite crucial, actually. Like, rushing into Vipers does make sense to look down the Colossus. Otherwise, how do we deal with this? And if the plan is Vipers, we're not ready yet. And the Hive is still on the way. Shameless will move out at the same time. Nikich going for a big link counterattack. Collapsing in. But there are those force fields. Ooh. Files do connect. And Lings, they get into the mineral line. We have defensive warp in. Do we have any force fields? We have some. Bailey's, they crash in. They shut down most of those sentries. We'll have 3 more behind this. Zealots will defend. Shameless still pushing forward. Fusing it back up. That's 17 more Bailings on the way. Nikich setting up a surround. And the Bailings, and they crash forward. The Gateway Army almost crumbling. Takes a lot of hits. The Gateway Army, it's so low. So battered, so bruised, but we're replacing the Adepts with Stalkers. Stalkers are amassing. Bailings, they crash into the the Sentries. Sentries go down. And no more force fields. Colossus are exposed. Can we juggle back? We focus on the Prism. And Nikich, he swallows up the army, shuts down the Colossus. Collapses on the Sentries. GG, good luck gets called, and Nikich will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Nikich will take the series 2-1, will advance on, and my condolences to Shameless. Again, it was a very intense moment there between both players, and the initial, like, glaives into Immortal push did manage to kill the third base at least, and I was maybe, I was actually favoring the timing that we were going for. Unfortunately, again, force fields did run out over time. Bailing connections were insane on the Sentries and on the Adepts, and alas, Shameless, he just kind of ran out of steam and ran out of units throughout the course of that push. Did run out of, or didn't really have the most longevity with that army, and with that, congratulations, Nikich will take the series, and we have our next matchup. Up next, Nikich versus Nightmare. Oh boy, let's go.